I was so scared that someone was going to steal my Sephora box. It was coming on Halloween night. You know, when kids come to your house to get candy, and then I was not going to be home, so I was gonna leave a candy bowl outside for them. So I was just imagining that teenagers would come, they would get a bunch of candy from the candy bowl, and then they'll see my Sephora box. And everybody knows how crazy expensive Sephora is. And yeah, teenagers would surely know that. Or maybe I was a little paranoid. But luckily, as soon as I was leaving the house, I saw the box, I took it with me, and I put it in my car. Safe and sound. I'm so glad nothing happened to my box because I got some really good stuff and I'm so excited to show you guys. You know the feeling when you want a product but you keep holding off because it's expensive and you just want to wait and wait until the event so you can get some discount. So there are definitely some luxury items that I've been wanting to try out so badly, but I had to wait because that 20% really matters. But I also got like really good holiday sets. It's such a great way to try out the products because they're cheaper, because they're minis, and I got some good ones. I am going to start off with the Sephora holiday sets, and then I'll show you guys the other things that I got that I was holding off on. My favorite set from Sephora is this LYS blush set. $20 for 3 blushes, and these are good quality blushes. They last long, they apply nicely. Well, I like applying it with a brush. When I tried applying it with my fingers, I feel like you have to kind of like warm up the blush a little bit, blend a little bit more. It's harder if you try to apply with the fingers, but it was super easy when I applied it with a brush. But this is called the Higher Standard set. It's a 3-piece satin matte cream blush set. And you guys know LYS blushes are huge. So their mini sizes are actually the size of normal blushes. So you're getting 3 for $20. Today I am wearing the darkest shade. A lot of pigment that I tried to tone down with a lot of powder, but it's still a lot of pigment. I think this has a good variety of shades, from like a more of a neutral shade, and then you have a brighter shade, and then you have a little bit of a darker pigmented shade. And then we have this lippy set. It includes a lip treatment oil and a moisture matte lipstick. This set is also $20, and these are full size products. They're not minis, so this is a pretty good deal. The original value is $32, and I do think both products are really good. Tried out the lipstick and it lasted on my lips all morning. So it's definitely something that you can put on and you wouldn't have to worry about touching it up before lunchtime. And it's a really comfortable matte formula. It starts off really satiny, but in about an hour, it dries down to a more satin matte formula. I have really dry lips, so a lot of the matte lipsticks don't work out for me, but this one did. And the lip treatment oil is so luscious. It totally smells like hot chocolate. The applicator is so nice and easy to apply. And it just is such a good experience. And I do wonder if they have other flavors. Like, I have not heard much about this lip oil, but it's really good. I think this is a pretty good set too. The next set, I have been so curious about these Armani Luminous Silk Glow blushes. I've seen them everywhere on Instagram and I've been like itching and like really wanting to try them. This one is a little bit more on the expensive side. This is more of a luxury item. The original value was $76, but it's being sold for $59. And it's a full-size product. So that's a pretty good deal. And what's good about this set is the presentation is really good. So you can also gift this to someone. Like that can be wrapped up, or you could just put a bow on this and it would make a great gift. Now, one blush was more like a glowy shimmery blush and it was lighter than the other blush. I tried building it up, but I've noticed with a lot of like glittery blushes, if you try building them up, instead of the color being built up, you just keep getting more and more of the highlight. So it is a little bit on the lighter side, but the other shade, I was able to build it up. So you can go light, but you can also build it up to a more pigmented color. And both of them were good blushes, but I don't know, like I was getting a little bit of a Milani baked blush vibe from the formula, especially the glowy one. I do feel like blushes are the easiest formula. So when you're paying a high price for a blush, you're actually paying for the packaging and the name. You're not going to get anything revolutionary with a blush formula just because it's a luxury brand. I felt like the Armani blushes are good. It was a good formula, but I've also tried similar formulas from much cheaper brands. But the packaging is nice, so I can understand that, you know, I am paying for the packaging essentially. And essentially when it comes to luxury products, a lot of it is about how it feels in your hand, how it looks to your eyes, and it's a lot about the experience that you have. Do I love these blushes to want more of them? I don't think so. So if you're getting blushes for yourself, I honestly think that the LYS cream blushes, the $20 set, is a much better choice than the Armani blushes. But if you're really curious about them and you really want to try them out for yourself, this is a good set to try them out. And if you have a friend who likes luxury makeup, it's a great set to give as a gift. I have been hearing so many good things about this Saie blush. So my expectations were pretty high, but sometimes we have high expectations and they're followed by disappointment. But I'm glad I got this mini dew blush trio, and I think maybe it was the dewy part that disappointed me. I did not realize it was a dew blush. They look really matte. When you look at the packaging, they actually look really matte. But I'm happy that I only spent $30 on this, and I got the minis and I got a chance to try them out. They just look very light on the skin, and I kept putting on more and more to try to get more pigment, but it just wasn't happening. These would be great for like a glowy, no makeup look for like summertime, but definitely not my favorite, which I was really shocked by because I heard so many good things about them. And these shades are really pretty too. Like they have like more of a bright pink shade, then they have this orangey shade, and then they got a little bit of a darker shade. So if you are going to try these blushes, if you're curious about them, I would opt for more of a darker shade. But what was interesting about them is that when I used a powder on top, I was able to easily set it with powder. I thought maybe if I were to put a powder on top of such a glowy blush that maybe it'll just come off, but that did not happen. And I almost felt like as if the blush got darker when I applied powder on it. Or maybe because it was my Rare Beauty powder, which is too dark for me. So my initial impressions of these blushes were not the best, but I do want to try them out a little bit more. But I feel like the product in here is really not that much. Like I feel like I almost finished the pink one. So it says the original value of this trio is $44 and you're getting it for $30. If you were to buy the original product, each would have cost you $25. And so that would have been actually $75 of the full product. So it's kind of nice that you're able to try out 3 shades for almost the same price as a full product, because the $30 after 20% discount is like $24. Yeah, so I think this is a good way to try it out. Okay, so I have 2 more sets for you guys. The next one is a perfume set. This one I actually picked up in Sephora. I went there just to relax a little bit. Well, actually I was returning something at Kohl's, so I was like, I need to go to Sephora. So I picked up a few small items, and one of them was this perfume set. I think this is a pretty good, safe perfume. It smells girly, it smells feminine, it's not overbearing, it's not like too gourmand, it's not too powdery, it's, you know, not too sweet, not too powdery. It's just a good, safe, but a little bit more on the feminine, fresh side. The only thing I don't like is the spray. They're decent sized bottles, but the spray is just way too strong. Like, I wish it was more dispersed. But other than that, a pretty nice set. And then the last set I have is this Amika Planet Perk Up Dry Shampoo Duo. I had tried out dry shampoo like a couple of years ago, and I was like, the smell was so strong to me that I couldn't use it. But this one actually doesn't smell as strong as some of the other dry shampoos out there in the market. And I've also found a new trick. When I used to use dry shampoo, which is pretty rare, this was really not for me, it's for my kids. But when I tried it out many years ago, I like sprayed it very like heavily, and maybe that added to the strong smell. So now I do very light sprays, like a little bit like that, like tiny sprays. Like if I was spraying right now the way that I used to spray, I would not be able to talk because it would be all over the air and in my mouth, and it would just be a horrible experience. But right now I can't even smell it because I'm using very small sprays. So I'm not someone who has really oily hair, but what I've noticed is this does give me the appearance as if I just got a blowout done. So even though I thought I didn't have an oily scalp or oily hair, it's still nice to add a little bit of dry shampoo into the scalp of your hair because it gives you more of volume. Now I gotta do the other side too. I'm loving this so much. I feel like I should get another one because on the box it says it's 35% savings. It's not easy to find a 35% discount. So this duo has like a bigger size and a smaller size, and it's $28. Yeah, so the 5.3 ounce bottle normally is $28, but now with this set, you're getting the large 5.3 bottle and you're getting a small 1.8 ounce one. It's $15 originally. Yeah, so 28 plus 15, 38, 43. Yeah, I mean, they did that calculation for me. I didn't have to do math. It's a $43 value and you're getting the set for $28, plus you're getting a 20% discount on top of that. This is a good deal. So if you're someone who uses dry shampoo a lot, I think this is a really good dry shampoo. That's it for the sets. Now there are products that I've always wanted to try out, and I waited for the sale to happen to try them out. So let me show you guys what those are. First and foremost, Sephora sale is the best time to try out some luxury products. So I've always wanted to try out this Givenchy loose powder, and so I got it. When I applied it, it looked pretty nice. It gave me a nice blended, cohesive look on my skin. It was not like overly powdery, but it was a good powder, but like, I have to try it out more because I wasn't like blown away by it. I don't know what I was expecting, but at the same time, I don't use powders a lot, so I'm probably not a powder expert, but there was nothing wrong with the powder. Like, it's a good powder, it did the job. Same thing with the Rare Beauty powder. So I've always wanted to try out more Rare Beauty products, and Rare Beauty does not have a good sale ever. All they end up doing is like, oh, buy this and you'll get a free gift. They never have a good sale. So Sephora sale is like the best time to get a good discount on Rare Beauty products. Now, this is the shade light medium, and it's actually a little too dark for me, which I was really surprised by. There weren't a lot of options with the shade colors. So I think I'm gonna have to maybe return this one and get a lighter shade. And this was the powder that I put on top of the Saie blushes, where I was like, oh, I feel like the blushes got darker. And I think it was because the pigment from the powder. But the powder does look nice. It does the job. Nice blended look. Both helped keep my foundation in place, because the foundation that I wear, by the end of the day, it starts to just slightly break apart on my forehead because my forehead gets oily. But the powder helped keep my foundation in place, and it did not break apart, both of them. So I did also get this Rare Beauty lip balm, another Rare Beauty product. This one is a really nice dewy product. It covers up your lip lines, gives you a really nice glossy look. Now with a lip liner, I did see that it was bleeding, but when I did not put a lip liner on, it worked out fine, which was kind of weird. But it is a nice lip balm. What can I say? But I do love the shade. This is the shade Compliment. And then these blushes are so popular, and I only had one shade, and I was like, okay, I need to get at least another shade. So I got another shade, but when I applied this, it was patchy. That was a bit shocking, because everyone raves about these blushes. Like, everyone, no one's ever said anything bad about them. And here I'm applying it on my face and it looks patchy. So if you have patchy skin, then these blushes are just gonna emphasize that. So I don't know if my moisturizer or my foundation was patchy, or if my skin is just patchy. It might not be visible to the eye, but maybe I have like a difference in texture where one part is a little bit smoother or more emollient versus another part which is dry. I don't know what that patch was, why I had that patch, but there was a patch. The other cheek looked fine, looked nicely blended, smooth, even, but this cheek was patchy. I definitely want to try this blush out again, several times. And if I keep getting that patch, then I know that I'm not gonna buy more. But I do want to give it another try because everyone says so many good things about them. But then again, a lot of people love the Rare Beauty tinted lip oils, and I don't like them. Literally, the oily part of the lip oil dissipates very quickly, and then you're left with a stain. So it almost is like as if you just applied a stain on your lips, because that emollient part wears off pretty quickly, maybe even in like an hour. I'll have to like check back at my review and I'll leave the link down below, but I don't think the Rare Beauty Tinted Lip Oil is a good product. I'm on the hunt for good matte lipsticks because I have dry lips, but I also want to enjoy a nice matte formula. So besides the LYS matte lipstick, there's this Armani Beauty lipstick that I've been very curious about, so I wanted to try that out. And I really liked it. It was very long lasting. It did not dry out my lips. It was comfortable. It did feel a little tacky on the lips, but I feel like that sort of tackiness is what makes it wear long. But then again, the LYS was also really long wearing, but did not have any tacky feeling on it. This one almost feels like a liquid lipstick formula, but in a bullet form, because when I applied it, it felt very like emollient and very satiny, but then it did dry down, but then it had a little bit of a tackiness feeling on the lips. But I still like it. All right, so the last thing that I have from my haul is something that I actually did not try on yet. It's the only item that I did not try on. This is the Haus Labs blush. If you guys saw my Haus Labs eyeshadow palette video, you guys know that I have been really wanting to try out Haus Labs. I was so excited in that video to try out the eyeshadow palettes because I was like, I want to try something from this brand. But the eyeshadow palettes were okay. They weren't bad, but they were also not good enough to be that high of a price. Now with the blush, this is something that I know 100% that I'm gonna drop it because the packaging is too silky smooth. This will for sure slip out of my hands. So it does not matter to me how great the formula is. I don't know if it's great. I haven't tried it. I'll do a shorts video for you guys trying on this blush, but I just can't. Like, I know that I will keep dropping it. It gets a lot of fingerprints on it, and it's just a really inconvenient packaging. And I do believe the packaging of a makeup product is important. It needs to be comfortable to hold. It needs to be easy to use. It's not just about the formula, which is why Rare Beauty blushes have this handle, right? Is to make it easier for people who have a hard time opening it. So I am starting to get disappointed with Haus Labs products. I did like the foundation because I had tried out a sample, so I would consider purchasing a foundation from this brand in the future, but unless they change their packaging, I don't know if I'll be purchasing more stuff from them. Well, okay, that was a huge haul. That was a lot of talking. I hope this video was helpful for you. I will leave all the links down below. They will be affiliate links, and if you use them, I would appreciate it so much because it'll help support my channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Thank you. Bye.